Another major NASCAR silly season domino has fallen as it has been announced that Bubba Wallace has signed a multi-year contract extension with 23XI Racing. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has been announced that Bubba Wallace has signed a multi-year contract extension with 23XI Racing and will return to 23XI in 2025. 23XI Racing tweets that from day one, Bubba has been an integral part of 23XI. We're excited to announce that he has signed a multi-year renewal and will continue to play a key role in helping 23XI grow and succeed. Forward together. Bubba Wallace has been with 23XI Racing since from the get-go when they announced in 2020 that Bubba Wallace would be joining 23XI in 2021. And every single year, Bubba Wallace has gradually improved. In 2021, while they struggled in year number one, he had some really big highlights early in the year. I remember Phoenix early in the season where Bubba Wallace was contending for a top 5 and was moving up to the field. And then, of course, in 2021, he got that win at Talladega. Then in 2022, while he did not make the playoffs on basically the driver points, the 45 car that he drove near the end of the season made it in on owner's points. And Bubba Wallace actually won at Kansas Speedway. And then 2023 was the year that Bubba really took a major leap. He scored 5 top 5s last year and got 10 top 10s and was consistent enough during the end of the regular season to the point where he's able to make the playoffs and made it to the round of 12 and nearly made it to the round of 8 by almost winning at Texas Motor Speedway. And so far, 2024, while he has not made the playoffs so far this year, Bubba Wallace has scored 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s so far in the 2024 season. Bubba, despite the fact that he's not won a race this year and didn't make the playoffs, he is having a career year in every category, including average finish, which right now I believe his average is about 14.5 to 14.8. It's been a really solid year for Bubba Wallace. I know we all these people talk about saying he should be losing his ride. That wasn't going to happen. Bubba brings a lot of sponsorship to the table and brings a lot of funding to the table overall as well. And while, yes, he hasn't been as strong as a driver like Tyler Reddick has been, he's still been very much an integral part in 23XI. Like I said, sponsors like McDonald's and Dr. Pepper and other companies like Columbia probably would not be over at 23XI right now if it wasn't for Bubba Wallace. And say what you want to say about Bubba Wallace, like I said earlier, every single year, Bubba Wallace has become a much better race car driver. And I only expect him to get better. And I would not be surprised or shocked with the speed and pace that the 23 team has been showing as of recently. I would not be surprised or shocked if Bubba Wallace goes out there and wins it for the end of the year. He had the fastest car in Michigan for getting caught up in a wreck that was started by Kyle Larson. He was really fast early in the year at tracks like Martinsville, Richmond, where he was running in the top 5 of Richmond for a late caution where Kyle Larson kind of caused that because Bubba really had nowhere to go in that incident. And you have to remember Martinsville. While Hendrick dominated that race, Bubba was right up there in front contending for the win as well and was the fastest non-Hendrick car that day. And there's been other races throughout the year where the 23 team has really shown the pace and speed. And he had a stretch of races right before the playoffs began where he was running really great and had one of the fastest cars early in the Southern 500 as well. I think with the pace and speed that Bubba has shown, he is only going to get better. And I do think as time progresses and goes on, Bubba is going to continue to be a championship threatening contender. I would not be surprised if in 2025 that you see Bubba Wallace become a championship threat and contender. I think he's got all that potential in my opinion, and I do think while he may not get a win this year, though I think there's a good chance and possibly that happening, I do think there's a good chance that Bubba will win a race before the end of this season. If you want my prediction for 2025, I think Bubba's not only going to win one race next year, but I think he's going to get multiple victories, and I think that he has a really good chance and possibility of making the round of 8. I expect him to continue to progress, I expect him to continue to get better, and I think Bubba Wallace will 100% for sure have a really strong second half of the year in 2024 and move into 2025 looking to run really good. Now, the one reason why this contract extension took so long to get done is the charter situation. What this tells me probably is that there probably has been some progression with 23XI Racing and the charter talks, the fact they're keeping Bubba around for next year. We know 23XI was one of the organizations that did not sign a charter agreement for 2025. That's been the big holdup to basically getting this whole thing done because we knew Bubba most likely was coming back to 23XI Racing for next year. So my question is, are they progressing? Are they making any progress toward that? My guess is most likely probably yes. I think this is the right decision, though, to keep Bubba Wallace around. Now, the other big question is, will 23XI Racing expand in 2025? It was reported by Bob Pockers yesterday, as a matter of fact, that they do think that they're probably going to potentially expand. And apparently, they've been building up their shop around the area, which is Airspeed. They've been building it up there. You think about 23XI's progression. They've been one of the strongest teams over the last year or so. Tyler Reddick won the regular season championship. Kurt Busch has played a major integral part of helping that program grow with how well he ran when he started over that organization. And now you've got talk about Riley Herbst going over there, though we know Corey Heim is also interested in driving for 23XI Racing full-time as well. I think this is a major pickup for the team, in my opinion, once again, to keep Bubba around. And I do expect that Bubba is only going to continue to progress and get better as a race car driver with the team. I do think, like I said a few minutes ago, I think he will be a contender to win races in 2025. So what does this mean for the rest of the silly season? Well, obviously, like I mentioned, 23XI is expected to expand to a 3-car operation next year, and Bubba Wallace is most likely going to be the driver. There's some other unknowns at this point. Front row, we know, is likely going to expand to a 3-car operation next year. Zane Smith is the most likely driver to get that third seat for next year. We also do know that other organizations like Spire are close to announcing their plans for 2025. We do think Justin Haley is going to be driving a 7-car next year for Spire. We also do believe that Corey LaJoie is going to Rickware Racing for 2025. And there's some other small teams that could pick up drivers like Harrison Burn, like Rick Ware. But we also know RFK Racing is expected to get Ryan Preece and expand to a 3-car team in 2025. And you think about Xfinity silly season. If Harrison Burn doesn't go full-time, he might move down to Xfinity. We know Nick Sanchez, of course, going to Big Machine next year. Junior Motorsports is pretty much set. There was talk about JRM moving up the Cup this year. That's obviously not happening, unfortunately. Maybe Carlos comes out of retirement. But there's a lot of big other moves that could be happening down the road. Maybe Haley Deegan as well. And we also know Kyle Busch, he's staying at RCR. So there's a lot of big silly season movement that still needs to happen currently at the moment. You think of Cup as well. Shane Van Gisbergen is going Cup Series racing. We think he's going to be a contender to make the playoffs and might be an outside championship contender next year. You really don't know at this point. But I do expect that this is going to be a really strong year for Bubba Wallace going into next year. And even though there's going to be more road courses, which they did struggle, but to be fair, 23XI did not run that great. I think that Bubba Wallace will get better next season. I expect him to continue to progress and get better as a race car driver. And I think 2025 might be one of the best years Bubba Wallace has had. I think it's going to be a big year for the 23 team as they continue to expand and grow and develop as an organization and program going into the future. So that is going to be for today's special breaking news report on Bubba Wallace. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts on today's episode. Are you excited that Bubba Wallace is coming back in 2025? And if so, how do you think he's going to do next year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later today on the channel, most likely around 4 o'clock, you're probably going to see race fix for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Bristol. Then tomorrow, you'll see Cup Series race fix for Bristol. You also will see, most likely, the Penske video dropping in the Truck Series race fix. And Friday, for sure, we're going to have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days. We also got a lot of content dropping this week. On Friday, we'll also have an SVG video on this performance in Bristol. And we got a lot of great content dropping over the course of the next couple weeks. There's also going to be 2025 NASCAR silly season updated predictions dropping, which will be dropping this Sunday. Got a lot of great NASCAR content dropping over the course of the next couple days that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.